Hey guys, it's Sarah, and we are going to get started on my 2017 Project Life catch-up project here. I am getting ready to get started on the month of April for 2017. I did show you my progress already in my kind of chatty video about Project Life and kind of my thoughts and where I am and what I'm doing type thing, but I do have everything through March done. I do this on a monthly basis. I don't do weekly anymore. The weekly started becoming overwhelming for me. So I switched to monthly and it's been so much better for me. So I do have my opening page here for 2017. I have January. So far, everything has only been like one spread is 1 month. So this side, that's 1 month. I haven't gone over that so far. It very well could happen, we'll see. But everything that I've planned out for this album in particular has been like this. So I don't think I'm gonna go too far over, but I do have a couple of inserts as well. So things like this, that'll go in the middle of it, things that are too big to go in here that I wanted to document and keep close, things like this. So I do have a couple spaces for things like that. But I think for the most part, it's probably just going to be one spread for each one. And as we get into the more current things like 2020's album, I may have more than that. We'll just have to see how everything goes. So we are starting with April. Which, oh man, I was like, of course we have to start with April because that's when our dog Brody passed away. He passed away April 7th, 2017. And that was really, really hard time. I still miss this boy every day. So that's like the first thing I get to document. Yay! But it also is nice to like go back and look at his pictures and just remember him because he was the best. But that's where I gotta start, so it's fine. We'll just rip the Band-Aid. That's totally fine. And yeah, so I'm gonna do these two spreads here today. I'm just gonna take them out. I'm gonna work on one side at a time, so I'm gonna take them both out of the album and just have them on my desk, and then we will work on them. I'll just keep this in the album because I'm gonna close this up and put it down. I don't want to keep it out on my desk or anything while I'm working because it takes up way too much room. So we are going to do this today, and I'll show you what I do along the way, and I'm excited to get started here. Let me put this down. And a couple things I'm keeping out on my desk. I have all my cards over here for sure that I'm going to be pulling out, but I also have these labels that I want to start using up. These were printed. These are stickers that I cut on my silhouette years and years and years ago. So I want to use some of these up. These are on cardstock, so I'll have to cut these up, but I have 2 pages of these, which are great. And then these are like cut aparts, cards and just like little embellishments that I can cut out and I can use. So I want to use some of this stuff up for sure. So I would really love to maybe use all of these up in this album before everything's done. I won't be able to use all the labels, but I'll try to get through as many as I can. Maybe at least get through the stickers for sure, like get this empty and then just work on some of these other ones. I'm not planning to use all of them up because, labels are so universal, I can use them on anything. But try to get through as much as I can of these throughout this album. And then I also have my little thing of scraps here still that I'm still trying to work my way through. I want to use up all these little things. I have used quite a bit, as you can see, like a lot I've actually really used. So we'll see what else I can get through. I'm going to have this handy just to see if I can get through a little bit more of that throughout this process, but those are great to use up in Project Life. Just the little teeny tiny scraps, those make a difference. So, okay, I think that is going to be it for my talking. So now I'm going to get scrapping, and I'm turning on the Great British Baking Show because I'm obsessed with it. I'm about to start season 5 and like I could watch it all day.
Okay, so we are going to get started here now. This takes me longer than I had wanted it to because I'm rusty. You guys, I haven't worked on Project Life, like I said, in years, obviously. I just really haven't. I put it down. I know I haven't worked on Project Life since I've lived since we've lived here, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. So it's been at least 2 years, I think, since I've even worked on this project. Um, or if I did, like, I don't remember, honestly. So I don't know. But I was rusty. So it took me over an hour to put this spread together. A lot of it was kind of indecision, going through some stuff. I cut out a lot of me just like sifting through my stuff because it was so boring. So I kind of cut a little bit forward to, actually picking the things I wanted. But there's a lot of that. So I'm starting with my April title card. So every month, I'll do a title card with the month on it. I realized that for some reason that sticker sheet, one of these was not cut, and I don't know what happened in that process. Obviously, I cut these years ago, so I'm not sure. But then I just cut it out with my scissors, and I'll just fussy cut it out. And then I grabbed a couple of these scraps from my little folder there, and I grabbed this one that has the pretty pink florals because I'm going to bring in a little bit of pink throughout the spread as well. There's some pinks and blues and yellows, and that's kind of where I'm going here. And then I found that little strip that's like a branding strip almost that I cut off a little piece. And then I'm going to cut out this label, and I'm just going to layer these up, and that will house my title. And I'm just trimming them up a little bit, getting some rough edges off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the strip down first, and then I'm going to use the label to cover up that hole. And then these here are going to work perfectly. Now, my lighting is going to go a little crazy. I'm not sure why. I think it's just the lights reflecting off all the plastic I have going on, including my page protectors there. So I'm sorry about that. I'll have to decide later on if I want to keep the page protectors in the frame, because it's just making the lighting go nuts. It's like kind of bright and then not bright, and I don't know. I didn't realize it was happening, obviously, when I was filming, so I apologize for that. But a lot of it is the lights reflecting off of my packages. So I spelled out April with those freckled fawn puffy stickers, which is nice. And then for this one, I'm going to use another label here. And then I pulled these little tabs out that was sent to me actually from Nicole Jones. I'm sure you guys follow her, Nicole Jones 911. She sent me a little care package a while ago, and these little colored tabs were in them, and I thought they were great. So I'm going to use a few of these up. I'm kind of picking some yellows and some blues, and I'm going to use these to kind of start housing some of my little clusters. And then I use that label that I'm writing on right there, and I cut off the tail end of it, and I put the other, like that little tail end, on my title card. I just kind of snuck that up there. That is a picture of Shelby, who is a bulldog that we would dog sit quite a bit in New Mexico. And so I wanted to, say that we were dog sitting for her sometime during the month of April. And now we're getting into Brody. So I'm having a hard time finding a date stamp that's going to work for me, because I don't have a lot of date stamps that are just the date without a sentiment on it that go past 2016. I have a couple that only go up to like 2015 or 2016, and then this Heidi Swapp one does go 2017 and beyond, so that's going to probably be the main one I use in this album. I do have some stamps that have sentiments along with them, but I don't always want the sentiments, so I don't know. I'll have to figure out like what I'm going to do if I want to get another roller date stamp that goes 17 and beyond. And then maybe just keep one of my other ones that goes a little bit earlier. We'll have to see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But for now, I'll use the Heidi Swapp one in this album for sure, because it definitely does. And I did all my journaling there. I put a little banner sticker up on top that says "No Fun Day," because that's the day we had to say goodbye to Brody. So I have some pictures of us kind of snuggling him and saying goodbye, and just kind of what we were, dealing with, me with him laying on my chest there. That was the morning. I spent almost the entire morning like that with him. Kaylin laying on the ground with him was right before she went to school, and she was kind of saying her goodbyes because she knew that, he wasn't going to be there when she got home. And the girls with him on the bottom was the night before they went to bed. And then the picture of me and Josh and Brody, that was at the vet's office right before it happened. So yeah, that was a hard day. And so I stamped the date and wrote, put that little sticker there and then wrote out all my journaling. And then for this one, I'm just going to do like a big sentiment card. And I'm going to use a label there and then put this little thankful circle because we are very thankful for him. I end up changing the card though because I pull out these Heidi Swap letter stickers and they don't show up very well on the polka dots because they're almost, as you can see, they're very light. So I'm going to put them on a different card. So I'm just going to pull that off and have to kind of restick everything down here. And just use a lighter card or something that's not so, patterned. And then I'm going to use these Heidi Swap stickers and spell out the words "We love you." Now, you can't see it very well when it's laying flat like that, but you can see it when it's in the album. So it doesn't show up on camera all that great, honestly, but in the album it works out really nice. And you could kind of see when I was holding it up at an angle, you could see it really well. So yeah, interesting. I'm just straightening out that thankful. It was a little bit crooked. And I'm going to use a couple of these heart enamels and put these on here. And then that's going to be that card. So that's for my Brody. And yeah, so I'm going to leave that the way it is. I'm not going to embellish any of the other pictures. I'm just going to let them speak for themselves. And then we will work on this one here. So one thing I noticed with this album as I was printing out all my pictures throughout the year and stuff is that we went to a lot of movies. And I saved almost all of the ticket stubs for the movies and stuff that we went to. So I still think that's fun to document. It's part of our everyday life. We did go to a lot of movies when we lived in New Mexico. Especially with the girls, we would take them to see movies all the time. So we still love to go see movies. We've seen quite a few this year, even still. I think over Christmas break, we went and saw like 3 or 4 movies. It's something we really enjoy doing. We like going to the theater and getting popcorn and, doing all that stuff. So, but that's just something I noticed as I was pulling everything out and, getting ready for this album. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull out cards for everything here first. And I'm just kind of trying to grab what stands out to me first so that I'm not spending, a ton of time trying to search through all of my cards. I don't have time for that. So I was like, yeah, that works. And I pull it. So for this one here, I'm using that polka dot card and I'm going to put the ticket here. It fits really nicely just into that little allotted slot there. And then I put a little piece of notebook printed paper underneath it because it's the Boss Baby. So, he's like a boss and, it works. For the Smurfs movie, I am using one of the little tabs with the hearts that I used on the other side of the spread and put the ticket on top of that. Very simple, but it's done. I'm using this card that I had changed out before, and I'm going to put this little library card on it instead. And I'm going to use this as a journaling card for the Free Little Library picture that I have, which has a post-it on it right now, but you'll see it in a second. There was a Free Little Library that popped up in New Mexico in our small little town, and it was the first one that popped up there. So when we saw a newspaper article about it, we definitely wanted to go and check it out, and we did one day, and the girls ended up both getting a book from there, and then before we moved to Florida, I ended up donating 2 boxes of books to the family who did the Free Little Library. I literally left it on their porch for them to use and to keep their library stocked. So I just talk a little bit about that. And it was really nice because they ended up sending me a thank you card. And at first I was like, how'd they get my address? But one of the boxes that I kept, that I put the books in, had my address on it. So, because it was like from a box that was sent to me. I think it was an Amazon box or something. And so they got my address from it and they sent me like a little thank you card and everything, which I actually put in the album in a big envelope where I'm keeping kind of cards and stuff that I get throughout the year. So that was really nice. I have a picture of a Starbucks drink. We got that unicorn drink at Starbucks one day. and it was interesting, a little too sweet for me, but the girls liked it, so they ended up sharing it. And then I have this picture of Kaylin holding Layla, like they were hugging, and Kaylin picked her up and Layla wrapped her legs around her. And it was just super sweet. And they kind of stayed like that for a minute or so. Just a really sweet moment that I'm glad I captured. So I pulled out this little heart die cut that I think I cut out of my silhouette in something a very long time ago that I still have sitting around. I'm going to use one of the tabs here and use that to house the heart there. And then I grabbed a little die cut that says home on it because, we're standing in the kitchen at home. So I just like the way that ended up turning out. Nice and simple. And then, okay, let's work on this one. I'm going to cut this photo down to a 3x3. And this is a picture of one of Layla's papers from school that she brought home. And she was trying to spell the word corn, CORN, and then she put KORN and then obviously corrected it underneath. But I laughed so hard because Korn is my favorite band, and that's how they spell it, KORN. So when I saw that, I laughed so hard. I was like, and I looked at Josh and I said, technically, she's not wrong. Technically, that's how you spell corn, right? And he was like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. So I wanted to, highlight that because it was just funny. And I don't know if that's why she spelt it that way or if she was just thinking, the K sound has a K. So, but I thought it was hilarious because I literally looked at him. I said, she's not wrong. So I don't know why she got that wrong. And he was like, no, you're silly. So that's what I'm going to have my title of this be is She's Not Wrong. And I'm going to use these October Afternoon Daily flash letters that I still have sitting in my stash. So I put that on a card that I didn't really plan on using. So I used it for the yellow outline and cut it down. And then I have this little emoji from Studio Calico. So I'm going to use that. I thought that was really cute. And then use the October Afternoon letter stickers to spell out She's Not Wrong. And then do my journaling about, how we just thought it was really funny. And, Korn's my favorite band. And I don't know if that's where she got it from or not. But we thought it was pretty hilarious that she brought that home. So I really like the way that looks there. And then for this last one here is Kaylin got Student of the Month that month for her class. And I believe this is when she was in 3rd grade. And every month, one student from each class would get a Character of the Month, or it's like a Good Character Award or something like that. So it's basically a Student of the Month thing. And she got it for the month of April. She was really excited. So I'm going to put that picture there. That little card says noted on the side of it. And I'm going to embellish it up a little bit. I find this little sticker that has flowers on it. I just really like that. And she has flowers on her dress. And then I'm going to use this little die cut that says, I think it says The Story or True Story, or This is the Story. That's what it is. And I knew I had a little ribbon like a banner, like this type of ribbon type thing. So I grabbed that and I'm going to pull off the sticker in the middle. It just has a flower on it. And then I'm going to put the This is the Story sticker in the middle of it instead. So I'm going to put this over top here. And that goes with her outfit really nicely as well. So I just changed out that sticker. And I kept the sticker because the sticker was nice. I'll use it on something else another time. And then I'm going to write out the story of her getting the Good Character Award for the month. And then that is going to be it. So I'm going to put this in here, put it all back into my album. And then I'm going to come back to you here live in just a second and talk to you about how I feel about it being done and complete and all that stuff and in the album. So I'm going to get this stuck in here and I will come back in just a second.
Okay guys, I am done with April, so I have it all finished here. I'm trying to keep my lights from gleaming off the page protectors too much, so sorry about that. But most of this was dedicated to Brody. We did have, we dog sat for Shelby, who's a bulldog. She was one of our friend's bulldogs, and we dog sat for her quite a bit, so she came and stayed with us sometime that month. I'm pretty sure it was after Brody was gone. So she brought us some good comfort in a time when we really needed it. So I wanted to make sure I definitely dedicated a lot to Brody here, because that was, you know, definitely the big thing that happened that month. Then I have the insert of some drawings that Kaylin did. And then over here, you know, we have a couple movies we went to and just some fun things that we did. I love this picture of the girls where Kaylin is holding Layla and Layla wrapped her legs around her. It's just so sweet. A nice, sweet moment between sisters. And so I'm really, really happy with this spread, and it's all done. And I, you know, got some of my little supplies used up, and it was great. So really, really happy that I got that one done. And the next time I work on this, I will be doing May. And May is usually a pretty big month because that's like the end of school and, you know, usually Memorial Day weekend and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So May is usually a pretty good month for us. But all right, that is going to be it for me for today. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.